All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It is October 7th, and this is our faculty training meeting. But first, we'll have Dr. Todd Burnett talk to us a little bit about our alumni advancement plan that's going on. And then afterwards, Dr. Sheila Steinberg will come and talk a little bit about faculty governance and what she's planning as faculty president since she's new this year. And with that, Dr. Burnett, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Hamish. Good morning, nursing and health professions. I'm thrilled to be with you here on a bright Sunday morning. As Tyke had mentioned, I'm going to give you an update on our advancement efforts that are going on. As most of you may recall, I was last year serving, in addition to advancement and special projects, was serving as interim dean of the School of Education. And fortunately, I was relieved of that in July, and so now I've been able to spend, for the first time in my 2 years with Brandman, my entire focused efforts on advancement. And we've been doing a lot of great work. And what we wanted to do today is I wanted to update you on the things that we've been doing, things that are coming up, and make a couple introductions to you as well. So first, under advancement, as you all know from last year, let's talk about our alumni efforts at Brandman. As Larry Lauer said, in a changing, more competitive world, alumni will be essential to perpetuating institutional security. And so why are alumni relations important to Brandman or to any institution? Well, they're our most loyal supporters. They generate amazing word-of-mouth marketing among social professional networks. We as an institution continue to benefit from their experience, talents, and time. They're great role models for our students and mentors and helping our students. They're usually or often, all of them actually, in a position to engage their institution, our institution, Brandman, with their company and organizations. They're fantastic ambassadors, and they take the information about us out to the community. They're, of course, wonderful fundraising prospects. So you may recall at last year's, or in the spring faculty retreat, we had completed with an outside consultant, GG&A, we did a strategic roadmap for our alumni. And I made presented the findings to all of you at the faculty meeting. And if you may recall, some of the reasons they found that how alumni will help Brandman, they believe it'll help, and I do as well, will help all aspects of our university, including advocacy, career development, community relations with our degrees, continuing training, fundraising, our partnerships, continuous program improvement, student recruitment, student learning, and they're wonderful volunteers. So that's just a real summary of what we believe the alumni efforts can do to help Brandman University. So when looking at our purpose of our alumni for Brandman, we've lumped it into three categories. The first one is our alumni program. We want to help us to increase enrollments. And these are all the different elements of that. Second is to enhance our competitive position for the institution. And finally, and certainly not the least, is to help us with development and external resource development. Well, let me tell you a little bit about our students. Well, first off, we see our current students as our alumni of the future. And so we very much see going to be planning a program that really reaches out to alumni the minute that they're students. Our students becoming alumni the minute they join our institution. But let me tell you a little bit about the numbers for alumni at Brandman University, which might be the first time you guys have heard that. First off, we have over now 30,000 Brandman graduates. We have over 14,000, in fact, it's closer to 15,000 current students. We have over 5,000 inactive students, and that's one of the things with our efforts we hope that will lower that number, is that students will complete and have more retention and finish. Under our School of Extended Education, we have over 45,000 prior Brandman students. We have roughly 10,000 per year with extended education. And then, of course, we have our current and our retired faculty and staff, which is close to 2,500 or so. So as you can see, we have a really large group, but it doesn't stop there. As you all know, we are we were Chapman University College previously, and we have graduates on record of over 27,000 there. And of course, we still have some retired faculty and staff from the Chapman University College days too. So as you can see, we have really significant numbers, and we're very excited, and I know our chancellor and everybody's excited that we're going to be able to finally engage these folks to really help enrich our institution in all the ways that we mentioned earlier. So our vision, if you recall, also in the strategic plan or the strategic roadmap we brought forward, is we want our Brandman alumni to be the leader in creating, again, measurable value for both our alumni and the university. So this is what we've done over the last couple months and what's coming up over the next few months. The first thing is, as I mentioned, as you know earlier, we completed the strategic roadmap back in May. And we recruited the team, and very excited, and I have with me here right now our new Director of Alumni Relations, who's only been here now, that's actually her 4th week, is Jana Cupp. And if we have any time, she'll be able to say a few words, but we're thrilled to have her on board. And she has an amazing background. We stole her away from UC Irvine. Before that, she was with the Irvine Schools Foundation, and before that, she had a brief stint actually at Chapman University. So we're very excited to have her on, and hopefully, again, maybe might have some time she can chat. We are now in the midst of looking for an advancement systems administrator. This is the person that's going to manage all of our databases for our alumni and our donors and other strategic databases. Very important position, and we cannot wait till that person starts. The third thing is that we are in the midst right now of implementing and installing the first alumni platform technology at Brandman called Graduate. And right now we are building that platform. It's a very laborious process, but you'll be able to hear a lot more about that soon. In fact, we're looking to do a soft launch in November. And part of the soft launch is that we are going to open it up to all of our employees. So all the faculty, all of our staff, and also some key alumni are going to be part of the soft launch. So you'll be hearing a lot more about this over the next couple of months, and we hope that you will actively participate in that soft launch. And our whole intent is to have the full launch for all alumni externally in January. That's our plan. We are creating the alumni database. We're, of course, a little bit set back until we get that person on board. And we've actively re-engaged our Brandman Alumni Advisory Board, which is going real well. We have wonderful alumni that are leaders that are very engaged with our institution. And finally, once we get through all this stuff, we're going to actually develop an annual alumni engagement plan. And notice I put the word the month April. And the reason for April is because we have a big event coming up in March, not to mention we have the Graduate implementation and many other things, which I'm going to tell you about. And that's why April is the date we're targeting for the engagement plan. So with that, that's everything on alumni. But as you know, that's not all that advancement does. So the other advancement action items and things that we've done is we are right now in the midst of developing an advancement strategic roadmap. We hope to have that. We will have that done by December. Your dean, Tyke, was one of the people that were interviewed for this whole roadmap we're putting together. And of course, this will be heavily based on fundraising, resource development, obviously including advancement, including alumni, but the whole realm of looking at advancement. And basically, it's geared much more for senior staff, for our Board of Regents and our Chancellor, to really get direction from them of what they would like to see advancement be for Brandman University going forward, which will of course then give us the direction on how to build the advancement program here. So I'm very excited, and Jana is going to be leading our first ever fundraiser for Brandman University. Because we haven't engaged with all of our constituents as much in the past, we wanted to do I call it a light fundraiser. And so what we thought we'd do is take advantage of the National Giving Tuesday, which is on December 3rd. I'm sure all of you have received it every year. You hear about this. But that's a day when many of the institutions in the country all go out and do a lot of crowdfunding, social networking to raise funds on this Giving Tuesday. So we're going to do the same thing and give all of our constituents an opportunity to at least think and consider about giving back to Brandman, as in addition to all those other institutions that reach out to them. So you're going to hear a lot more about it. But we are looking to do two categories. We're going to raise money for our military lending libraries, and then we're going to raise money for scholarships. And our three scholarships right now are going to be, we're going to have a alumni scholarship, a veteran scholarship, a first generation student scholarship, and then we'll give an opportunity for people to give to the area of greatest need, which is really an unrestricted scholarship fund. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that soon. And again, we hope we have your full participation with that. I apologize if you're hearing any noise in the background, but there's construction going on here at Brandman, and that's that noise in the background. The second event is going to be, and I alluded to it earlier, the big event is in March 21st, and it's our first ever Chancellor's Gala. And that'll be our first major fundraising event that Brandman has done. And we'll be holding it at Chapman University in Beckman Hall, for those of you who know Chapman. People ask why we hold it at Chapman. And we're holding it at Chapman because we want to bring that connection of Chapman University College to all of our alumni out there, which are going to be harder to connect with. So we figured we'll do our first inaugural event there. But I can guarantee you it'll be our last time we do it at Chapman as well, because from then on, you know, we really want to establish the Brandman University relationship. We're also at this event going to be doing the first year of Alumni Awards of Distinction. You've heard about this before, and because when we originally went back to you guys last year about this, and thank you, you've already made a couple nominations in your school, we put off the Chancellor's Gala for a year. So now we're back again, and Tyke knows about this, and I don't know if you've already told the school or the faculty about this, Tyke, but the nominations are due on October 25th. And we can certainly send out the nomination form to all of you if you have not received it already. But hopefully we will get at least 3 to 5 nominations from your school, because we're looking to give one award for each of the 4 schools, and actually 5 schools, because in extended education, we're actually going to be doing a corporate sponsor award in addition to these alumni awards. So we can certainly get you more information on that. But of course, this is an opportunity to really highlight the School of Nursing and Health Professions and a prominent alumni of our program and of your school. Fourth, we're creating a donor database just like the alumni database. And again, we're going to be doing the implementation plan around April, May of next year. Of course, after the 2 fundraisers and after the gala, we hope to have that implementation plan, which then will guide us on the action items we're going to do for the next year and maybe thereafter. And then what we're doing is this year, and would like to talk to Tyke and Sonia and all of you, is that we're going to be doing more enhanced activities at each of the commencements, including the hooding ceremonies. So you'll be hearing a lot more, and you'll be seeing a lot more things that we're going to be doing at all the commencements, the hooding ceremonies. Anyway, I went through that really fast. I don't know how we are on time, Tyke, but if anybody has any questions or comments, and if I do have a minute, I would love to have Janet just say hello if we have time.
I think that'd be fine. I think everyone is here now, so we'll probably run over just a little bit, but we'd love to hear from you, Janet. Thank you.
Great.
Hi, I'm Janet Hubbs. I'm your new Director of Alumni Relations. Thank you so much for having us this morning. As you can see, we're gearing up to have a really exciting year and really touching many areas of the campus, including alumni awards, gala, as well as Giving Tuesday. Coming up with the plan of how we really want to see alumni rolled out at each of the schools, as well as each of the campuses. A big part of that will be participating in every commencement activity. But I'm really looking forward to working closely with you all and learning more about what you're already doing with your alums that have graduated and how you guys stay in touch and be able to provide lots of support.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for us?
Thank you.
I guess that means no.
Yeah, I don't see any. I think they're good. Oh, Gail has her hand up. Go ahead, Gail.
I'm just glad. I know that when we do accreditation visits, they are always asking us about our alumni, and it's such a challenge in an online program. So I'm glad to see some movement that we may be able to pull from for accreditation.
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons as we talk about enhancing competitive position. One of them is dealing not only with the accreditation, program assessments, but also the national rankings, which will help. And of course, our nursing school and other programs in our university. Those rankings do matter. So you're absolutely correct. The alumni effort we have up will tremendously help not only accreditation but those other efforts externally.
And we're going to build our systems around tracking the engagement and tracking the metrics that will directly be able to be reported for all of those rankings and accreditation.
Exactly. And in fact, if you have specific, it would be helpful. We've been working with Lori Dodge and others, but if you have specific items that they track for your particular accreditation, if you could let us know specifically what it is, the information or what type of metrics you need, so we can make sure we do set it up and that we're tracking it appropriately for your needs.
Thank you. And then Dr. Lucky also has her hand up.
Hi, thank you. I was talking on mute earlier. I was just going to ask if you would, thank you for the presentation, and if you would please send out that information for the Alumni Award application, as well as the Chancellor Gala information. If there's something that we can add to our calendars, that would be great.
Yeah, I have that. I'll be doing that. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you'll do that, Tyke? Okay, great.
any other questions? Comments? Well, then thank you, Todd and Jana. Very much appreciate you coming and spending some time with us and telling us about the great new movements with the Alumni Association and
Thank
efforts.
you for having us.
You're welcome. Okay, and I don't see Sheila. So, Andrea, do you want to start over and find out what happened? Thank you for letting us be running over a little bit. Or Murphy.
Do you want to start on, yeah, Murphy, yeah. Do you want to start simple syllabus now, or is Sheila popping in right now?
I don't see her, so I'm going to just have to give her a quick call, find out where she is, and maybe we'll just reschedule it for our next meeting in November. So
Okay.
go ahead and start, because I don't want it to drag on just waiting.
Okay. Okay, well, hello, everybody, and thanks for having us in this morning. So we've been talking to all of the schools about simple syllabus, and I think I've been talking about it for about a year and change here. So we are finally at the part where we have our whole system built. On the back end, simple syllabus created a space for us that is ours. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you a high level kind of overview of the things that are changing and what they look like. And then Lisa will go through and do a demo of what it looks like from the developer perspective for you guys to be adding information to your syllabi. And we'll talk about a little bit about workflow and those things. And then Sonia has volunteered, I think, or maybe we forced her to volunteer to kind of be a guinea pig and build one while we watch, so that everybody has that. And I know, Tyke, you're recording this so that people can use this as a reference as well. We obviously will also have trainings in the CII that will be synchronous, and we can work with you individually as well. The IDs and the ATs all have this knowledge. So one of the things I wanted to mention was that Andrea's here, Jay's here, and Lisa's here, and I will be staying. If you guys have questions that need to be answered as we kind of go through, we'll all be able to answer those questions in the chat box. And I'm actually going to open the chat box so that I can see it. So if you have questions, you can go ahead and type them in there, and we'll kind of make sure that we hit on all of your questions, as well as if you want to unmute and ask questions as I go through, that's fine as well. So a high level overview. So Simple Syllabus is a syllabus management tool. And what it does is it populates all of our live shells with a syllabus that's created with one link. So our current system right now, as you know, is to have a PDF in course information, which is what you see here. We have a Word document or editable document, sometimes Google, in the instructor resources, and then we have that document loaded on my Brandman. And so there's a lot of opportunities for potential, syllabi not looking the same and those kinds of things. So one of the things that this will solve for us is that we'll have one link that's the same syllabus, and that's the only space that you have to change it in. And it will change that workflow a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I just want to show you what it looks like in a course shell. So this is basically what it would look like for a student. You guys can decide on the nomenclature here, what you'd like that to say. When a student clicks on that, it'll take them out of Blackboard, just like it would with a PDF, if it's loaded correctly. And this is what the syllabus ends up looking like. It has a, kind of a table of contents on the left that you can jump around. You can see that the textbooks look a little different, that there's a picture with that. You can jump around to the different things. Things like attendance policy and those things that are, the logo and those things are populated at a university level. So those are across the board for the university. And so those things are things that you will not have to edit as a course developer. The other thing you won't have to edit is this course number, title, credits, and course catalog description. That information will be pulled from Banner. And then there's some things that we've worked with nursing to make sure that you guys have some consistency across your school. Gail worked with Lisa last week, Lisa and Andrea on that last week, to make sure that we have that all cleaned up so that you guys will be able to have your syllabi for the School of Nursing. Then if you have things that are going to be program specific, we would be able to add those as well. So this is what the syllabus ends up looking like. Students can print that, turns into a PDF as well. So that's what it looks like for the student. And then in instructor resources, instead of having another document inside of instructor resources, what we'll have here is the editable syllabus link. And what that is going to do is take you out to simple syllabus. So, and of course it's not going to let me go here. Let's pretend that that worked. Lisa will show you actual simple syllabus in a minute. But this link would take you out to simple syllabus, where you would have all of the syllabi that you are responsible for as a course manager, and you can make edits to that as well. Obviously, we'll get into the weeds on that a little bit later. This is the developer guide, and I want to show that to you. Lisa did an amazing job creating this developer guide for you guys. It was something that Simple Syllabus did not have. They're a relatively new company, and they're kind of working on what kind of documentation and trainings and those kinds of things different universities need. So Lisa spent many, many hours working with Jay. Both of them really blood, sweat, and tears to make this happen. So I really appreciate all of the work that Lisa and Jay did on this. It's really well done. So this is in Google Docs, and again, you have the full table of contents on the left, so you can jump around to different things that you need. And one of the things I want to talk to you about is the publishing workflow. It's going to be a little bit different for nursing than it is for the rest of the university, because we're going to add another layer into this. But the basic workflow is that the developer, the person that's the content area expert, is going to add their content to the syllabus, and then you're going to submit that. And then I think what we're adding here for nursing, and maybe we will create a slightly different workflow for you so that you can see that, is that Gail's going to have a look at those syllabi after that stage. And then it will go to the instructional designer that you're working with on the pipeline. And that instructional designer is just going to look at your syllabi, make sure it matches what we have in the Blackboard shell. If you have points and those kinds of things in there, then you would, the instructional designer would just make sure that both of those things are aligned. And then it would go to the learning resources administrator, which is our textbook person, which is Vanessa Limon. And she's just going to make sure the textbook is correct. She's going to make sure the correct textbook edition is the one that's being offered through our bookstore, so that all of that is in alignment. One of the really great things about Simple Syllabus is we will be able to pull our master book list from the syllabi, rather than having that be kind of a separate entity. So the developer role and the course manager role, to answer Gail, is we call the developer the person that's the SME, so the person that is the content area expert. For the most part, that's usually the same as the course manager. Occasionally, it's different. Maybe the developer developed the course and then someone else is managing it because it's in their program or some version of that. For School of Nursing, I think it is the same person. So Gail and Tyke will do a review prior to publish, correct. So this is a publishing workflow. So we just want to make sure that you guys understand that as far as academic freedom for you, that you're controlling the content in that syllabus, and we're just making sure that everything matches and trying to catch errors, just put another set of eyes on things so that we get the best version of that syllabus that we can. One of the questions that's come up a number of times is archiving. So if a student comes back to us in 2 years and says, hey, I need the exact syllabus that I had in spring 1 of 2020, those syllabi are archived. So once a course is done and it's that 8 weeks is up, that syllabi can no longer be edited at all. And so that just lives in Simple Syllabus, and you can go to that term and pick up that syllabi. So that's an automatic feature for us. What our goal is, as far as timeline, is that all of our syllabi will need to be finished by November 1st. That is our goal. We are trying to go live in spring 1, but between November 1st and spring 1, the CII will need to go in, and as I showed you in this shell, this link has to be built into every single shell. And then we obviously have to go into instructor resources and do that, because what we don't want is to have old syllabi living in there as well as the Simple Syllabus link and all of that. So that's some cleanup that we'll need to do. And as you know, that means that that's a manual touch to every course shell, master shell. And so that master shell we will jump into, that's about 1,000 shells for us to go through. Do we need to update Simple Syllabus every session? No. Once you have a syllabi that's done, the course is done, it doesn't need revisions, that course syllabus is going to copy over to the next term, and it'll keep doing that until you make a change to that syllabus. And then with the publishing workflow is when the timing of that new syllabi would be determined. So that is basically the high-level view of what Simple Syllabus is. We're really excited. I think it's going to really clean up all of our processes and make things a little bit easier. Obviously, this is the big push part where we are really working to make sure that we have all of the content that's currently living in our syllabi in this new format. And then after that's done, it does become much easier to update syllabi across the board. And if there's a university policy that changes, we can change that at the university level in 4 places, and that goes university wide. So those things are really going to be have a positive impact on our workflows and make it a little bit easier to do this. So does anybody have any high level questions for me before Lisa? I give the screen to Lisa here and she walks you through the actual demo. Any questions? All right, Lisa, I'm going to stop sharing so that you can share your screen, and I will hand it over to Lisa.
All right, thank you, Murphy. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having us. I'm going to give you a quick demo of Simple Syllabus, like Murphy mentioned, and then after that, Sonia so graciously said that she will help build, or she will build a syllabus out so that you can see how it's done from beginning to end. So what I'm demoing here is in our sandbox. I don't want to mess anything up in production, so I'm going to sign in a little bit differently than you will. This is single sign-on, so it uses your brand credentials. So when you are actually going to go and build your syllabi, you would click this one, log in using your brand credentials. But because I'm in Sandbox, I'm set myself up as a developer. So I'm using my @mail. So logging in here. Not sure why it's not working. It's just taking a minute perhaps. The spinning wheel, we love it. It normally doesn't take this long. Let me open up a new window here and try again. Okay, so it must have logged me in. So when you get into Simple Syllabus, it will, normally it opens up on the Syllabus Library tab. We're not going to go over that today. Everything that you need to know is in this developer guide, so you can read this. It will tell you about the library and each section in detail. but because we want to get through the demo and get you started on building your courses, I'm going to go directly to the Course Masters tab, and that's where you will go. And this is term driven. So all of the courses that you're assigned to will show up here, and you can go to different terms. So if you are working ahead, you can go to the term that you want to go to. So we're starting out, this is where you're going to be building your syllabi, is in Spring 1. So I'm going to click here. And these are the courses that I have assigned to me for Spring 1. And again, yours will all show up here. And as Murphy mentioned, once you make an update to your syllabus, it's going to keep carrying forward until you update it for another term. So a lot of times you do work ahead. So if you make changes for Spring 1, but then you're working ahead and you know it's going to change, you just go ahead to the, a different term, Summer 2 or whatever, and you can make those changes. And they're not going to show up until we hit that term. So I'm going to go ahead. So here's your courses. Now to go ahead and start building your content, you click on the pencil icon.
Lisa, this is Gail.
Hi, Gail. Go ahead.
Quick question. So for the active term, it's only the ones that are going to run those are the ones that show up, or how does that work? Like when I click on Spring 1, only the courses that will have students in them will show up. Is that correct?
For right now, it's going to be all of the courses that you have oversight for. We're getting all of your syllabi put into the system. So you'll see all of your courses. Correct, Murphy?
Yeah, you'll always see all your courses because you have your course masters, and that'll list there. For right now, for Spring 1, we put every course in because every course you're responsible for will need to be updated. And then as the terms move forward, it would be, if you're selecting a term, it would be the ones that are being pulled in from Banner. And Jay, you can correct me if I am wrong.
No, that is correct. All this information is from Banner, and all courses will show up in all terms.
So the objective is for us to get all of the nursing courses transferred over by November 1st.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
And Sonia, can I just also be clear then, is it okay to update a course if it's running now?
Yeah, these aren't going to go live until Spring 1 of 2020.
Okay.
That's a really good point though, Sonia, is that right now, if you have to change a course, if you're changing something that's happening in Fall 2 because there's an emergency or something, it's the old system. This is not going to happen until Spring 1 of 2020. So what we're doing is building everything so that we can then make all of the updates so that we can be ready to go live Spring 1.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. So this is your template. And again, Gail and I and Andrea went through this to get this sorted out. So up here, you'll see these are fields that are not editable. And again, this pulls from Banner. And for those of you that don't know what Banner is, it's the course enrollment system that informs Blackboard, and it populates language from the catalog as well as faculty and students into the live courses. So that's what Banner is. So this course description is pulled in. This is a field that is not editable. It has a link that will go to the mapping, the PLO mapping. Course prerequisites are also pulled in from Banner. And then if you have any co-requisites, so this is our first field that is editable. So if you have any course requisites, you can go ahead and type them in.
Lisa, this is Gail, and I just wanted to make a comment about the PLOs and the ILOs.
Okay, sure.
Just ILOs are for the undergraduate programs only, for the BSN program. And then also Sonia and I went through the curriculum mapping to ensure that the new link was correct. We did find a couple of typos, and I'll be working with the assessment office hopefully this week to get those corrected. So just if you start working on your syllabi, just be sure that you're using the ILO map that is housed in the Y community for the PLOs and the essentials. Thanks.
Sure. Okay, so this is the first field that's editable, so you can tell because you can actually place your cursor in there. So if you have co-requisites, you can type them in here. You'll notice that this toolbar up here is very similar to Word, so if you need to bold something or add bullets, those tools are available to you. The essential equipment, this is at the university level, so this link right here, I'm in the sandbox. This is obviously not the correct link, but we will add, or we have the link to the essential equipment. I want to go back and mention something up here. If you do not have a co-requisite, you don't need to type anything in, and it will not show up on the syllabus. It does have this visible, invisible button, but really, if you don't type anything in this field, you don't have to worry about toggling this on. It just won't show up. So now we get to our first required field. It's the course learning objectives. And we have some verbiage that is in here. This is for your template.
Lisa, it didn't capture our baccalaureate information.
Yeah, when Sonia shared it, it's because I'm in the sandbox and I made your updates to the production, so that's why. So when Sonia shares her screen, you'll see the verbiage that's there. So sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure that it was in production when we were talking the other day. So this is a required field. So you'll want to type in your objectives, and then you'll see up here it's locked, and then it's required. Usually when you'll see in production, it'll say down here required. For some reason in Sandbox, it's not showing that. Here you can add your graphics syllabus, and you would do that by inserting the image, and you can click and search for it on your desktop or wherever you want to keep it, or you can drag it over into that field. And again, this is not a required field. So this course learning objectives, normally you will see, for required fields, it will have this orange around it, and this is what I was talking about, required. This will show up as well. So textbooks. So this is a pretty cool feature. You can search for your book, and this is done through Google. So you would just type in either the ISBN number, or you can put the book title. I'm just going to put nursing because I don't know one of your books, but you would go through this list and look. And if you have the ISBN number, it's going to bring up the correct book, but make sure that you have the correct edition. So let's just say we're going to choose this book. And then what happens is it fills in all this information for you, as well as a thumbnail. And then here's your ISBN. This can be edited, so sometimes it's super long and you don't want it to be that long on your syllabus, or maybe it has like a British spelling of a word, so you can go in and edit this, and it gives you all of this information. And then when you're done, you click Save. And then you can actually go and add another textbook. So if you have more than one textbook, you can add another one. So if for some reason your book does not come up in the search, you can manually enter it in. You would enter in the title, and then the ISBN, the description, the author, all of that information. And if you wanted to pull an image, say from Amazon, and put it on your desktop, you can actually add the image here, and it's the same. You can upload it or you can drag it. And sometimes if you don't have a textbook, I'm not sure if that's the case for you, but you can, sometimes you have like a PDF, or maybe it's a website that you go to. You can still put the title in. making stuff up. I know this is not yours, but put the title and then put a URL here. And then when you click save, it will look like this, and the URL will be underneath it. It's not showing you like the field name, so you don't have to worry about the field names showing up. Does that make sense to everybody? Does anybody have any questions? Okay, and so below that, here's the link to the textbook. The recommended text. Okay, so additional course requirements. This is a required field. It's not editable, but this will take you out to live text. And then if you have recommended text, this is an optional field. You can add them here, and it's the same as adding the required text, same type of fields. And then we get to the methods of evaluation for determining grades. And this is going to look different when Sonia shares her screen. This is one thing that we updated as well. You cannot copy your whole table from your syllabus into this, but you can copy into each cell or table. Sorry, not table, each row or cell. And you notice when I click in here, you have the option to add additional rows, and you can delete rows, several of those, the same tools that you have in Word. The next field here is your signature assignment. And again, this is an optional field, but I believe you all of your courses have signature assignments. So you would list that information in here. And then assignment guidelines. This is static information. The grading scale, verbiage was added to this. Again, when I keep calling you out, Sonia, but this is changed in the production. So when you share your screen, you guys will see different verbiage that we updated. Attendance policy, academic writing standards. These are all fields that automatically generate. And then your course schedule will go here. And then same as before, you would type in each cell. And this looks a little bit different too. You'll see those changes. And once you are done, you would click submit. But if you want to, you can preview it first. So if you go back up here to the top, I don't want to make you guys dizzy. You click preview. And this is what Murphy was showing you. Over here is the navigation. You can click on any of these. It'll take you to that section. And you can see how it looks before you send it in or publish it. And you notice it opens in its own tab. So I'm going to exit out of here. Another thing that you can do is if you have a section that you need to add for some reason, maybe it's like a one-off field, and it's not on your syllabus template, you can add it. It's called Add Component. You click here. You give it a name. You click Save. It shows up at the very bottom, and then you can type your information in. So if you don't want it here at the bottom, you wanted to move it somewhere else, along with all the other components, they can be moved, but I think we want, for consistency, you probably don't want to move your other components around so that all of your syllabi stay the same. But if you did add a component and you needed to move it up, you can go up here to reorder, and then you just drag it up to wherever you want it to be. And then you click close. And then you can see it moved up there. So everything looks great. I'm ready to submit this to the publishing workflow. You go ahead and you click submit. And then you click close. And so it hasn't been published yet, again, because it needs to go through that workflow. We'll go to Gale and Tyke, But if for some reason you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to add something, you still can go back in and edit it before it's been published. And then just the same thing opens right
I
back
have a
up.
question.
Sure.
Okay, so for 706, the name of the course is not, let's look at the name of the course from Banner. Is it just a, what am I saying? Is that, okay, you see how it says trans health?
Yeah, is it abbreviations or is the entire?
Yeah,
Just
because
do it
that doesn't look,
We're fixing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. We're fixing that. It for some reason that's how it's pulling in from Banner. Jay's working with IT to get that fixed, and it will be done before spring 1.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody have any questions before I turn it over to Sonia? And we're gonna watch her build her course. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing, and Sonia, I'm gonna put the link in the chat here for you. This is to production.
Full disclosure here, I've not looked at this or done this, so this will be a true to life experience. And I'm a little nervous about it, I gotta say.
You're gonna do awesome, and we're here to walk you through it too. So I put the link in the chat, so whenever you're ready, you can start sharing and we'll watch you.
So I'm going to put it on my big here. I'm gonna drag this over.
Sorry, it was muted. Sign in on the top one. Sorry, I signed in on the bottom because,
Here?
yeah. Click that one and that single sign on.
Oh, good.
Sonia, can you make your screen a little bit bigger so it kind of fills up all that space? That'll make it, yeah, perfect.
Should be in my office. It looks like a movie.
And so again, when you open it up, this is the syllabus library. So you're going to want to go to Course Masters. And then up at the top where it says term, there's a drop down. And you're going to select Spring 1. You might have to scroll down a little. Spring 1, 2020. There it is. Yeah. All right. And there's your course.
So I just click on it.
Click the pencil icon.
So the credits will fix itself.
Yeah, that's going to be pulled in from Banner.
So I'm starting here then.
Yeah, if you have a co-requisite.
Which I do not.
Okay. So you don't need to type anything. And so this is the language that we added the other day, Gail. So depending, you see in the yellow, it says delete the essential statement above that does not apply to your course. So you keep either one or the other. So you'll want to delete the one that does not apply and then also delete that yellow text.
Magic.
what about the essentials?
Essential equipment, Gail?
Oh, the nursing
This
essentials this
Yeah.
is part of accreditation for us.
Each of one of our courses, we include which essential the course is related to. They're the D&P essentials,
That are aligned with the PLOs.
right?
Right. So I don't have that as part of my course objective statement. I'll have to go find that. Like I'm looking at my syllabus.
Maybe in another part of the syllabus. I think, Lisa, remember I had a little panic attack because I thought it was missing.
Okay, so I guess I'll just make a note.
Yeah.
Under CLO, DNP. Okay. So can I, because I don't want to miss that, can I highlight? Is this a highlighter? That's a format eraser.
Highlighter.
To make sure I come back.
I want to say, is it that little drop next to the font? The to the right. To the right. Sorry, to the right of the font size. Yeah, over one more.
Oh, colors.
So is the standard, Lisa, the scale, is the standard font there for us? I want to write down what it is too.
It's 12 point, and for consistency, I would leave it as that. So just leave it with the default.
And that's Arial 12.
Yes.
Yes.
That is the Brandman style that we were asked to build it in. So that's what they built it in by marketing, FYI.
So I know it's marketing, but I also know that for ADA, we have to have a specific font. Do you know, Murphy, if marketing is included that in their decision?
Well, Arial is a universal design font. Arial is basically Microsoft's Helvetica. So, and
Right.
it's what all of Blackboard's in as well. So it should be compliant.
Okay, yeah, that was it's just those little things that sometimes that, CCNE gets crazy and says, oh, you're using blah, blah, blah. So, okay, great, thanks.
And I believe too, Sonia, if you wanted to make that bigger, we'll have to see how it looks when you publish it, but I think you can stretch it out if you want to make it a little bit bigger. And then when we do preview, we'll see how it looks.
So in theory, I should be able to drop the ISBN number in here.
Yeah, and the book search at the top. Is that the right edition, 2011?
Not the right edition.
Okay. Yeah, we've been coming across that with a few. It might not always be updated. So in that case, then you would have to manually enter it in.
What's the number of the course that we're looking at right now?
705.
Thank you.
Yeah, there should be a 2014 edition of this book. So question, will this never mind.
Yeah, so since it's not there, go ahead and copy that title you just, or highlight it, Control X, or, sorry, I have Mac. Cut it. Or go ahead and just copy it. And then get out of, and then paste it right there,
Okay.
And then you can get rid of it from the search. There you go.
Okay.
And then your ISBN you'll want to fill in.
But it's the wrong one.
Well, that's why you're manually adding it. So it's not going to add, this is going to, because you're manually entering it, it's going to add the correct book. You just have to fill in the information.
don't have this information at hand.
Okay, you can just go down to the edition.
And will it, so it's just going to say what I have, and I can come back and like find more about this?
Yeah, so if you go ahead and click save, and then scroll back up. So this is how it will look. And if you wanted to go on to Amazon and then get more information about it, or grab, you know, take a screenshot of the thumbnail, you can add that in as well. And one thing too to mention is that we are working with Simple Syllabus to get this in APA format. Right now it's not, but we're working on it.
Okay. The course requirements are standard, right?
Right, yes.
So there's another section in the syllabus that follows as technical requirements. Is that later?
Let's see. We have essential requirements, which I believe is taking the place of technical, unless it's something different. But if you scroll up, essential equipment, and then this link is going to be updated, and it goes to the a PDF of Brandman's essential equipment. Is that the same thing, the technical that you were?
So can I'm like trying to track them back and forth. I'll just read the technical requirement statement. Says to successfully complete the course, you will need access to a computer with reliable internet access and the appropriate system and software to support the Blackboard Learning Platform. The technical requirements for users can be found here, and it's a link to Brandman EDU online tech requirements.
Yeah, so this essential equipment replaces that, and they updated the requirements. So this link is not going to be Simple Syllabus. We're going to go into your template and change it, and so the correct requirements are going to show up. Okay. So just, you don't have to worry about that piece in your syllabus.
Making a note for my other class, essential equipment replaces tech requirements. Okay. Okay, so then the next one is methods of evaluation. This is going to be exciting.
Lisa, I have a question about something we might have missed. Can you scroll back to live text? And I need Tyke's input on this. For our students, live text is part of their fees. And it says here this is a one-time purchase. Do we need to change that, Tyke?
Oh, we'll have to look at it because I know that yeah, that shouldn't be there. I thought we had new live text language, didn't we?
It was, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought we had revised it.
I don't remember.
Oh, I think it is a one-time purchase, but it comes out of their fees.
Right. So
I'll have to go back and look at some of the other updated ones after we talked to Twyla about that, and we talked to Elia about that. So I don't know what the final decision is. I'll have to go back and find my emails.
Okay. I've got it on my list.
Thanks.
So this is going to be populated. This has to come from two different places. It's coming from my syllabus because that's where I'm getting the weeks. Oh, I guess I don't need that. Uh-oh.
Go Control Z. Do you have that?
I do.
There you go. It's your best friend. So just a word about these tables, you guys, is the reason that we had Simple Syllabus build these in for us is because they will be responsive on mobile, which we're finding more and more of our students are accessing their courses this way. And so that's why this is such a painful process for this first time through, is that you have to build everything kind of individually. But hopefully when we're just updating a course or something, it won't be quite so labor intensive.
So just for consistency, this is a question for Gail. When there's more than one CLO, do you care if it's just listed like this, or because I see my syllabus has it like that with the ampersand? Do you have an opinion or preference?
I don't unless Tyke does, but I would just center them. If it's two, I'd put the ampersand in. And if it was more than one, I'd use, commas and ampersand. I mean, more than two.
I'm going to come back.
So Sonia, shouldn't that first week one be the check-in discussion board?
So the method
That's worth 50 points. This week one we all have, because of the 80, remember the DOE requirement, we put week one always has a 50-point discussion board.
Yeah, I need to change my table then, because my discussion boards are all together. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. They're 50 points each. So there are three.
The check-in should be 50 points each, and the other ones, the standards, are 100 points each. So we'll have to look at that.
Okay, I'm gonna need to.
Yeah, so yes.
Yeah, so for illustration purposes, I think everybody gets what that's supposed to look like, right? And I'll just leave that alone. Okay, I'll come back and finish that. Yeah, I'll leave that one then, and I'll get it red.
Thanks.
Ooh, that's better. Okay, now I really won't miss it. Finding my signature assignment. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get my course at a glance.
And if you just want to put in one line too, like you did before, that's fine. Then we can go back. Or, I mean, it works very similar to the table above.
Right, so my week one is, well, I'll put it in here. It's messed up because of this other issue, but okay. So you just want one.
Yeah, that looks great. And then two, I don't know how it looks on your syllabus, but if you have read and review, you can bold that, website. I don't know if that's how you guys have it, but just a reminder that you have those tools.
Yeah.
And so,
so are these links going to be live? Oh, I guess I have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and go back up to the top and preview it, we can see how it looks. And then let's take a look at your graphics syllabus. Is it? I thought it was up.
Go.
I think that's towards the top, the graphic syllabus.
Yeah, and I didn't see. I'm not seeing it.
Go back to that other tab, Sonia, that you have at the top there. It'll take you out of this preview. All the way to the top of your browser, yep. Let's look at that graphic syllabus and see if there's visible public. I wonder if you have to have a piece of text in there for it to pick it up. That would be odd.
Or maybe it's something we don't need to have. I know when they developed the courses, they thought it was a cool thing to have, but I don't know that it's required. So we're going to have to look up the history with that. I'll ask Jan
Yeah,
actually.
just try
Shoot,
it. Yeah.
I just want to see if that's
Yeah. Will you try preview one more time? You have to do a new preview. If that is the issue, we can, yeah, that's the issue.
It has to have text.
So we could add a sentence up there that says, you know, below is a visual representation of your course or something like that. But we can also talk to Simple Syllabus and see if we can get that fixed. I think it's just a glitch.
Okay.
The other thing you guys can put in your syllabi that we will do maybe on phase 2 is I know a lot of you have done intro videos for your course.
Yeah.
So if you have a whole program that has intro videos, that might be something we could discuss.
So I just put spaces in there.
Oh, and that worked?
Yeah.
Excellent. Still should fix that though. We'll talk to, because we don't want to force people to put spaces and then if someone doesn't have the space, it doesn't show up. So
As a standard, we don't have any intro videos in our syllabi.
correct. I was just saying phase 2, if that was a decision you'd like to make, we'd be more than willing to have that conversation and see about adding it.
Thank you.
Okay, so go back to your first tab and then scroll down and click submit.
So do you submit each time you come in and edit it and then it just updates?
Yeah, so it automatically saves as you're going along. But when you're done, you do need to click submit and then it'll go to the publishing workflow. So that was pretty easy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just copy and pasting.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being our guinea pig and sharing with us. The last thing that we wanted to do before we head out is to see if everybody can log in. So if you all can go to that link in the chat and see if you can log in, you'll want to click that big box that Sonia did, and it's the single sign-on. And if anybody is having any problems, please let us know.
I like the simply loading. That's cute.
And then once you get in there, if you want to go to the Course Masters tab and click Spring 1 to 2020, and you can see your courses there.
Mine's not letting me log in. It's saying my password's wrong.
Mine's not letting me log in either. This is Gail.
And Brian, mine neither.
Oh, good. I'm not alone.
Are you guys clicking on the credentials? Maybe you should share your screen, Lisa.
Yeah. So let me go into production here. So when you get to this screen, you want to click this box, log in using your credentials. Is that what you guys were doing?
I was not. I just did that and it worked.
Yeah, so this is the one you'll want to click. And then it may ask you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And this is the admin view, so yours is going to look different. Is everybody's working now? Or I should say, is there anybody who's is not working?
Hi, this is Rachel Chowdhury. I do not have an account, it looks like. It says we cannot find a matching account.
So it could be that you do not have any courses assigned to you.
Yeah, I'm looking at the course developer list, and I don't believe that there are any courses assigned.
Okay, that would make sense. Okay.
Rachel, do you have courses that you manage though?
Well, I am assigned to the BIOU courses
Okay.
and
Rachel, you should be assigned to all the
pre-licensure. I know.
all
So
the
I don't.
pre-licensure ones, but I think what happened is that this course manager list is pre ABSN courses. So we're going to have to create another list and just make you in charge of all of them, and you can change them as you hire your faculty.
Okie dokie. Who do I work with on that, Dr. Hanish?
CII, I think. I don't know, Gail.
Okay. I'll follow up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are the ABSN courses built in Banner yet?
Yeah, some of them are.
Okay. They would have to be in Banner to
Yeah,
populate.
90% sure they're there.
Okay.
I don't think so, Dr. Hanish, because I don't think we've launched it yet. I would think at least the BIOU 101 course, because I'm the course manager for that, and we have being taught.
The BIOU courses are run through Arts and Sciences, so that would be the Arts and Sciences.
No, it's assigned to Rachel.
Yeah, but I'm the course manager for all the BIOU courses, and I hired a faculty for that.
Right. So just for Jay, it would be within the Arts and Sciences program. Their template is slightly different than the one we use for nursing.
Okay. All right. Alrighty.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions or not able to log in or anything that you would like to note before we leave?
Do we let you know if courses are missing from our list?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you do have a new list altogether that you are going to put together, if you want to send that to us.
We updated the course, the list that Andrea had provided that Tyke and I have ability to edit.
Okay.
And I think I sent that link to you.
Yeah, we have that. Okay, yeah. So just send an email to. You can send it
to CIIID or to a specific individual.
Go ahead and send it to CIIID.
Okay.
And then the last thing is I put a link in the chat to the developer guide. So if everybody wants to click on that, and then you can save it as a favorite or bookmark it as a favorite.
Yeah, and I'm checking to see, I'm pretty sure, Rachel, that we put all the course descriptions in the catalog. So I'm looking in the catalog right now because that's what it pulls from.
Okay. And you can add that to your drive. So once you click on that link, you can either bookmark it or add it to your Google Drive.
Okay, so
so that is it. Thank you guys so much. Murphy or Andrea, if you want to say anything in closing.
I'm good. Do let us know if you have any issues or need additional follow-up training. We're happy to help out. And we will hopefully be able to get through this. If you have any issues, you can email me directly or do CIID.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're saying that Banner pulls the courses, we do have the description for the ABSN courses in the catalog. And Rachel, if you need help doing those, we'll figure that out too. We'll set some time aside.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is we'll work with the faculty when we do the course reviews before we launch the and URU courses will just will work on that.
Yeah, but Murphy, my understanding is you want them in before spring 1, right?
I mean, that's the goal. Obviously, if you're developing courses that aren't fully developed, then the syllabi wouldn't exist yet.
Yeah, some of the initial ones do, yeah. And if we can get Rachel's assistant director hired quickly-ish, that might be a really good learning exercise for her.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank
This
you.
is awesome, Murphy. I got to tell you, this is going to make everybody's life so easy.
As soon as we can get through this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
Just-
but I think it's going to be great. I'm excited about.
Yeah, I can. There's so many advantages to having that standardized. That's terrific. Thank you for that. Good choice.
I agree.
Lisa and Jay were definitely the heavy lifters on this one. So I really
Thank you to Lisa and Jay as well.
Thank you. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time, and yeah, let us know if you need anything.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks again, guys.
Right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Type before you do, I just want to double check then discussion board should be 50 points and then all other discussion boards should be 100.
The check-in, the first week discussion board is 50 points, and then all the others are 100. And there's a standardized rubric for both.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Those are in the Y community,
Yeah.
and they've been updated with the 0 column, the templates.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Can I clarify one thing? If we don't have anything that we're teaching in spring 1, then we don't have to do any yet, or do we have to do all of them for November 1st?
they wanted all of them done by November 1st is our understanding. Is that what you heard?
That's what I thought, but I just wanted to check.
Yeah. It doesn't, and if they're not perfect, that's okay. That's why Gail and I will go through them. And if there's anything that's missing or, that's standardized in a different way than what Sonia's talking about, we can talk to you guys and we'll walk you through it. I think the main thing is to get everything in there so that they can go live with it and then we can fix them as we go along. Is that your understanding, Sonia and Gail?
Yeah.
Yes. And
That's
also,
what I thought I heard, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so just look at the link that I sent everybody with the course managers on it. Okay, so make sure that you know which courses are supposed to be on your list. And they may not. I'm going to send that link that Andrea Monroe created to CIIID so they are have the current one as well. I did send it to them previously, but just to double check.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, this was nice. It was not as scary as I thought.
No, it's really not. It's just cut and pasting. I mean, that's it. Cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. And then, like I said, we go through them, and even the simple syllabus, even the graphic syllabus. Do you remember, Ruth, why the heck we did that? I know that Mary Mays was big on it, but I don't even know if we need to keep it.
Vanessa would probably know more than me. I wasn't there that first year.
Okay. Yeah. I just remember everybody was excited. Oh, you have to do a graphic syllabus, but I don't think it was required. I think it was just, quote, a cool thing to do, unquote.
When I got here, they were all in there already.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, we developed them that first 2 years I was there. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? I think that'll do it then. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.